I moved to LA a little over a year ago, and I want to talk about my experience as an LGBTQ person in such a big environment. For me, it has been both a amazing experience and a very isolating experience. I feel like this is a common thought that people have when they come to LA. It's really interesting because at one moment you're like really close and connected with people, and then the next moment you're not. So, after a year, I can say that, I met so many really nice and amazing people. At the same time, I don't know if I've made any, really strong lifelong connections. Time will certainly tell, but none of them, I think, were kind of on that next level that I was really hoping to find, kind of moving out to LA. And yeah, you could certainly say that some of it falls on me. I'm definitely maybe a little bit more reserved, maybe a little more judgmental and choosy. So that certainly comes into play. I don't think I have really developed those connections. That's kind of the negative. The positive is like, yeah, it's like an amazing, vibrant spot for LGBTQ people, for trans people specifically. It's a little hard to find community. I went to a few events when I first got here. I've kind of done a few little random things in and out, and quite honestly, again, it's really hard to find people that you connect with, and you could certainly put that on me. It's definitely been hard to connect and really find that tribe, right? Like the people who are thinking about things the same way that you are. They enjoy activities. I love like snowboarding and basketball, and yeah, and I guess that's the thing. Like you see it maybe on Instagram, but these people, have their own lives, and they don't necessarily want to open up. And I think there's also kind of a fear too. To reach out. It's almost like there are kind of two mindsets that people have, and it's that there's only so many resources, a scarcity resources mindset or an abundance mindset. And I feel like a lot of people in the trans community out here in that scarcity mindset, there certainly are, don't get me wrong, some amazing people who have put a lot of effort into building the community, and they're really focused on that abundance perspective. But I think generally, it's really hard, as we're transitioning and as we step into a new space, and things are really good for us. And we don't want that to disappear, so we grab onto that scarcity mindset. And yeah, that's been really one of the big things from, I guess, a transgender perspective. And you could call me and tell me that I'm wrong on this topic. I certainly could be. It certainly could be from this perspective and from my view, but that's how I've experienced it. Feel free to share otherwise. But yeah, I would also say that, like, um, trans people here aren't like in big groups. Like, there's an amazing gay community, and you can go to downtown. You can go to, what is it, West Hollywood, and that has a bunch of stuff. And yeah, I'm 33. I guess I'm kind of dressed like I'm getting ready to go to the club. So, who's me to say, right? But yeah, it's it's kind of geared towards gay men, and there really isn't a trans bar that is, you know, promotes enough. So that was kind of one of the downsides. I did meet quite a few amazing people, like through Bumble and Tinder, and we connected as friends, and that was really nice. Some of them, just kind of faded away. Whatever reason. I feel like a lot of times when trans people are together, maybe it brings out some of their own insecurities. For me, it definitely does, so I can speak on my behalf. And I try to be aware of my insecurities. Whereas if I'm hanging out with like cis people, it's not something I'm thinking about, right? So like, yeah, I think maybe that's an obstacle when you try to meet people and you're trying to find that tribe, and maybe there's that that disconnect, and brings up kind of some of those internal things that you don't typically have to maybe process. I don't know, just a theory. I mean, LA in general, it's fun. The weather's amazing. I think that's why, I wanted to be here for a while. My job pulled me to New York. I'm excited for that chapter, New York, the New York chapter, but at the same time, like, I think I'm okay kind of taking a pause from LA and, kind of the transient piece of it. And I lived in a kind of a community environment. So, people by nature are kind of finding their own individual grooves. Yeah, I guess, I'm okay. I think this was an amazing chance to, feel accepted. I feel like maybe that's the best thing. If you're considering coming out to LA and maybe you're thinking you want to, whatever it is you want to do, like, and you're thinking you want to come out to LA, it's probably harder than you think, one, to get into whatever space it is, but also opportunities will show up. At the same time, it's really, really hard to find, I think, meaningful connections here in LA. People are really focused on their thing, their hustle, and like who you are, and kind of some of the stuff you would associate with it. And again, there are literally really amazing people that are really solid people that just want to meet you. And also, I've only been here for a year, right? Like, you can't expect to build any like truly sustainable and meaningful relationships in a year, right? What do they say? 7 years to life. Not like jail, but like 7 years, somebody and you'll be friends with them for life. So, and I guess that's the other thing too, like moving to LA, I really wanted kind of drawing some boundaries in my life, and I thought that was really important to draw those boundaries. But maybe I've been too firm with them, and maybe I've been too judgmental too. So I've definitely focused on myself, and maybe that's the output that you get, right? If you focus on yourself, you get yourself. You don't get a really strong connection and bonds, and you maybe disassociate to with other groups. So yeah, so I'm just trying to be as straightforward with my experience here. And I think in one of my earlier posts before I moved out here, it was all about finding that water, right? And find that water where you can thrive, and find an environment where you can be you. And I think LA offers that environment. I think it's maybe a little harder to find those connections, so that LA doesn't feel like a truly isolated place, and you will meet people. There are so many amazing people here. So like I would say I probably met at least 10 really solid humans. I mean, I definitely met more than that, right? But like connected with 10 solid humans. So yeah, I think it's been an amazing experience. I've got like 2 more weeks here. It's been an amazing experience. I definitely want to, I think at some point, come back to LA. I'm excited for this New York chapter. It's really going to be focused on finance, but yeah, I am excited, grateful for, having had the opportunity to live in LA. I never really plugged into any of the high-end stuff. That kind of never had a high-end stuff, meaning like the movie scene, and it feels nice to share this. And I think that's part of it, is like documenting my process, so other people, as maybe you're just starting out, or as you're getting further along in your process, you can kind of think through some of the things that will make your life valuable, rewarding, meaningful, right? And you'll feel that same connection. So with that being said, I've been talking for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna just do a general dump on this page, but yeah, post any comments on LA if if other people watch this and they want to get a feel for, hey, is LA going to be positive for me? And I came from the Midwest, and I think my conclusion here afterwards is the Midwest, at least at this point in my life, is not a place for me. So, I did learn something in the year that I was here. Like, I learned that there are amazing people that accept you. I learned that it's really cool to be able to enjoy like the outdoor adventure stuff like almost year round. And it's really cool that that it's like a big community. So I think my view of this was all from, again, just generally identity, transgender. That was pretty much my focus. So that's all. More to come on the New York move and getting into there. And I feel like I know a lot more people there too. So, I'm not starting from the ground. Now you're here, whatever. Okay, that's all. Bye.